welcome to where we are five forces, and this movie is From of old, China has deep cultural foundation. In order to enhance the influence of Chinese civilization and global civilization's initiative, and tell good cultural relic story, spread the voice of China. Today, we come to Shanxi Archaeological Museum, using cultural relics as carriers to show the long history, splendid achievements, and major contributions of the Chinese civilization. And for the past 20 years, our archaeological workers have devoted all their energy to digging, protecting, and repairing the cultural relics, and they have accomplished many achievements. Please look at this blue sky. And in this blue sky, there are a lot of bright stars, and each star represents one achievement. At the bottom of the sky, these busy workers are our archaeological workers. Today, I want to share these achievements with you through the angle of daily life that we are closely linked. There is an old Chinese saying, food is a necessary of the people, and the people can't live without food. These pottery pots belonged to Han Dynasty. About 2,000 years ago is the best proof. And they were used for seed storage, and each thing was written with different seed names.
From left to right, the first is 五种, which contains 5 different seeds. The remaining 4 pots contain seeds separated from the seed mixture in the first stem. They are wheat, rice, millet, white sorghum. It was nothing that this pottery pot was used for storing liquor that was fermented by cereals. This is an evidence that people at that time had mastered the technique of liquor fermentation. How intelligent the human being is.
Besides food, people can't live without water. One of the ways to get water at that time was by well. Look at this ancient wooden structured well. And the top of the well has been destroyed, only leaving the rectangular bottom.
The bottom part was full of plenty water at that time. The cobblestones in the middle were used for filtering impurities, so that people can get clean water to drink from it. It's one of the water sources for the ancient city.
Specifically, where and how the ancient people lived in particular eras. In primate society, people used the stones and the loess to build their houses to adapt to the local environment. The reason is that Shanxi province is located in the Loess Plateau. Please look at these exhibits.
This is a pentagonal building. Pillars were first set up at the 4 corners, and then the loess was built up along the 4 pillars as a wall. In the projecting part of the pentagon, there's an opening in the wall. This opening can draw in the wind from outside. These winds can make the fire inside the wall burn even hotter. Since this, people could perform some sacrificial activities under the middle structure.
As time passed, people learned more skills and began to complete and improve their living conditions. They used food and stones to construct the structures so that the buildings could be more solid and comfortable. As we can see, the wall was made of plenty of big stones.
At the top of the stone house was a wood roof that could avoid wind and rain. In the center of the house, there is a place where people could make a fire for cooking or heating. If you look carefully enough, you shall see some white and gray powder on the wall.
Have a wild guess. What is that for? The answer is, it was used to keep the moisture away from the building. At that time, people had tried their best to know and use the nature. Until today, our living conditions become more and more comfortable, not only the practical, but also the beauty. That is all about the housing. When the basic demands of food and shelter were satisfied, people started to enrich their spiritual world, such as etiquette and music. Please look at this drum. In ancient China, people used drum for sacrificing and music. And if we look down, we can say the base of drum. The base is made of bronze, and it could keep the drum upright.
Let us look a little closer. We can see 3 dragons intertwined with each other. The making process of these dragons was very complicated. After repeating pouring and processing, the artisans at that time made the heads of the 3 dragons meet at one point. It seems like these 3 dragons lift the drum. The patterns on their bodies are 3-dimensional. Imagine that the technique was not as advanced as it is today.
And next, we will move on to the tomb, which buried a couple. We don't know what happened to them or why they died. They clung to each other as a proof of their undying love.
This reflects the people's view of love at that time, life in the same bed and died in the same tomb. This also shows people's mental world as ample comparatively. And in fact, no matter love view or the affection between family members, people also care them a lot. And these were engraved in Chinese bones.
This is the end of today. As an old Chinese emperor once said, taking history as a mirror, we can know the rise and the fall. We read the history of 5,000 years of Chinese civilization through these historical relics. And what we have seen today is but just a brushstroke in a magnificent picture of 5,000 years. There's a lot more to see. Thank you.